Bosnia-Herzegovina, heart of the Balkans, place of multicultural heritage, complex history and a vibrant presence. I was ready to explore this fascinating and often underrated country for the first time. This travel documentary captures my one-week road trip through Bosnia-Herzegovina, starting in Trebinje in the very south of the country, heading to Neum, the small coastal corridor and seaport, to the iconic cities of Mostar and Sarajevo, with plenty of stops to visit natural and historical landmarks on the way. This is my journey through breathtaking Bosnia-Herzegovina. Bosnia and Herzegovina looks back at a complex and tumultuous history, marked by almost 400 years of Ottoman rule, Austro-Hungarian rule, and the Yugoslav Federation. The breakup of Yugoslavia in the early 1990s led to the Bosnian War, which resulted in tragic loss of life and tremendous destruction. But some historical landmarks have survived the bombs or have been reconstructed. The country is influenced by its diverse ethnic and religious communities, with Bosniaks, Serbs and Croats being the largest three. And all across the country, you will find plenty of cultural references to the rich and diverse past, which makes traveling here extra exciting. The starting point of my Bosnia-Herzegovina road trip was Trebinje, a city located in the very southeast of the country and part of the Republika Srpska, a part of the country with an ethnic Serb majority. Trebinje is also not all too far from the Croatian coast and of course particularly the famous tourist destination of Dubrovnik, which I will cover in a separate video. Trebinje is situated in the beautiful Trebinje river valley, surrounded by mountains and scenic landscapes. As I stayed in an apartment near the river, this was a great place to start my city tour. Trebinje's history dates back to ancient and prehistoric times. The city experienced significant growth and development when it became an important regional administrative and commercial center in the Ottoman period. The old town, the Stari Grad, offers without a doubt the best opportunity to get a sense of the rich cultural heritage of this place. I took a stroll through the cobblestone streets, which still feature plenty of well-preserved Ottoman-era buildings, historic monuments, mosques, churches and fountains. The best time for a walk might be the evening hours, just before sunset, when the golden hour illuminates the entire city in a beautiful light. The next day greeted me with sunshine again, and after a relaxed morning in Trebinje, I headed to Neum, Bosnia and Herzegovina's only access point to the sea at the Adriatic coast. Neum is known for its stunning coastal landscapes with pristine beaches, crystal clear waters and rugged cliffs. The town is surrounded by mountains including the Sujeska and the Srebrenica ranges, providing a picturesque backdrop to the coastline. Given its special location, Neum is also a popular tourist destination. especially during the summer months when visitors flock to its beaches to swim, sunbath, and enjoy water sports such as snorkeling, diving, and jet skiing. Not surprisingly, the town has a bit of a vacation feel to it. There are numerous accommodation options available, including hotels and resorts, but I opted to stay at a private apartment a bit away from the hustle and bustle of the streets that flank the shoreline. In the evening, I went to try the delicious seafood cuisine at one of the many open-air taverns serving fresh fish, shellfish, and other seafood delicacies caught locally in the Adriatic Sea. Grilled fish, octopus salad, and seafood risotto are just some of the popular dishes you find here, and the prices were very reasonable, especially compared to some of the more well-known Adriatic cities such as Dubrovnik or Split in neighboring Croatia. The next morning, I got up early to head to one of the must-see highlights of any Bosnia-Herzegovina travel, the famous Kravice Waterfalls. The falls, located in the Trebinje river valley near the town of Ljubuški, are truly a natural wonder. A series of cascading waterfalls shoot down over a cliff formed by natural limestone. The waterfalls vary in height, with the tallest waterfall reaching up to 25 meters, about 82 feet in height, and create a stunning natural amphitheater, with clear turquoise pools at the base where many visitors swam and relaxed in the water. While the site was busy, the breathtaking natural beauty and pristine surroundings with lush green vegetation made me stay much longer than I had initially planned. Emerald pools, cascading waterfalls, and the overall picturesque setting was ideal for photography and just strolling around in nature. With the adjacent picnic areas, cafes, and restaurants, one could easily spend a whole day here. But I eventually decided to head back up to the parking area to continue to my next stop of the day, Pocitelj. After just a short 30-minute drive, I arrived in Pocitelj, a historical village that is situated in the banks of the Neretva River. This picturesque village, nestled on a steep slope within a beautiful valley and surrounded by rugged mountains and lush greenery, is frequently cited as Bosnia-Herzegovina's most beautiful village. The village has a rich history that dates back all the way to the Middle Ages, when it was established as a fortified town by the medieval Bosnian rulers. The village later flourished during the Ottoman period, and many of the well-preserved architecture, including the medieval fortifications, mosques, madrasas, and traditional stone houses, date from that time. I made my way through the village's historic core, which is characterized by narrow cobblestone streets, stone-built houses with red-tiled roofs, and I then walked up to the fortified walls past the Haji Ali Mosque and the Sahat Kula, the clock tower, which offer fantastic panoramic views of the village and the surrounding countryside. Mostar is one of those places you simply cannot miss when visiting Bosnia-Herzegovina. Known for its iconic bridge that spans the Neretva River, this historical city was first established as a settlement during the Roman period and later flourished under Ottoman rule in the 15th century. Mostar became an important cultural, economic and administrative center in the region, known for its multicultural population and thriving trade. All roads in Mostar seem to lead to the Stari Most, the old bridge. It is without a doubt the most iconic landmark in Mostar and one of the most recognizable symbols of Bosnia-Herzegovina. Built by the Ottomans in the 16th century, the bridge connects the two halves of the city with a single stone arc and is renowned for its simple yet elegant design. During the Croat-Bosniak War, the army of the Republic of Bosnia-Herzegovina used the bridge as a military supply line, and as a response, the bridge collapsed on 9th of November 1993 due to the shelling by the Croatian Defense Council, the HVO. After the war, the bridge was rebuilt in the original design and finally reopened in summer 2004. Speaking of the war, Mostar was heavily affected by the Bosnian War in the 1990s, and reminders of the conflict can still be seen everywhere in the city even today. Bullet-scarred buildings, war memorials, and museums provide insights into Mostar's turbulent past and serve as a stark reminder of the continuous need for reconciliation and peace. I continued my way through Mostar's old town, the Stari Grad, a charming area filled with narrow alleys, bustling markets, and traditional craft shops. The city's bazaar, the Chargia, is a feast for the senses. Artisans sell handmade carpets, copperware, jewelry, and all kinds of trinkets. Numerous cafes, restaurants, and traditional Bosnian eateries serve local specialties, and the air is filled with the sense of fresh barbecue. Mostar is also known for its multicultural heritage, shaped by centuries of coexistence between different ethnic and religious communities. The city is home to mosques, churches, synagogues, and other religious sites, reflecting its diverse population of Bosniaks, Croats, Serbs, and other communities. No wonder Mostar's historical center, with its cobblestone streets and traditional Ottoman-style buildings, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. A particularly beautiful building is the historical Koski Mehmet Pasha Mosque. The garden behind the mosque offers perhaps the best views of the Stari Most Bridge. The mosque is no longer actively used and can be visited for a fee. It may be the only mosque I've ever visited that is now considered more of a museum than a mosque, especially since the Hagia Sophia in Istanbul has been converted back into an active mosque a few years ago. After a hearty breakfast, I continued my journey up north to the small town of Konjic. Konjic itself is a pretty historical town located in a picturesque valley surrounded by the mountains of the Dinaric Alps, approximately halfway between Mostar and Sarajevo. The town is most known for its traditional woodcarving industry, which has been practiced in the region for centuries. And the region here is also known for producing the best honey. Many local bee farmers sell their homemade honey by the streets that lead in and out of Konjic. And I must say the honey I bought here was simply fantastic. But my actual destination, Konjic, was literally a bit more of a hidden landmark. Konjic is home to Tito's bunker, a massive underground bunker complex built during the Cold War era. The bunker, officially known as the Atomic War Command, the ARK, was constructed to shelter Josip Broz Tito, the president of the Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia, and the country's political and military leadership in the event of a nuclear attack. Back in the Cold War era of the 20th century, this bunker was shrouded in secrecy during its construction, and its existence was kept hidden from the public for decades. The bunker was camouflaged and disguised as a nondescript military installation, with its entrance concealed beneath an ordinary house in the countryside. The true purpose of the bunker remained unknown until its discovery in the 1990s after the breakup of Yugoslavia. But today, Tito's bunker is open to the public as a museum and tourist attraction. I went on a fantastic guided tour of the bunker that provides insights into its history and significance, catapulting me back into communist Yugoslav times. The construction of the bunker began in the early 1950s and was completed in 1979, shortly before Tito's death. The bunker was designed to withstand a direct nuclear strike and provide a secure command center for the Yugoslav government during a nuclear war. The complex consists of several interconnected underground tunnels and chambers spread over an area of more than 6,500 square meters. The bunker is divided into multiple sections, including living quarters, offices, meeting rooms, communication facilities, and storage areas. It is equipped with air filtration systems, backup power generators, and other amenities to sustain occupants for an extended period of time. Among the many unique landmarks I have seen in Bosnia-Herzegovina, this was one of the most unexpected and unique experiences on my trip here. I continued my journey to Sarajevo, Bosnia-Herzegovina's amazing capital city, where I was going to spend the remaining days of my trip. Located in the heart of the Balkans, in a pretty valley along the Miljacka River, Sarajevo is the largest city of Bosnia-Herzegovina. The city's history is relatively young compared with other cities in the region. Dating back little over 500 years, Sarajevo was founded by the Ottoman Empire in the 15th century and became an important cultural and commercial center on the crossroads of East and West. Ever since, Sarajevo has been marked by various cultures and civilizations, seemingly effortlessly integrating Ottoman, Austro-Hungarian, and Yugoslav influences. Today, the city is known for its multicultural heritage, with a blend of Bosniak, Serbian, Croatian, and other ethnic communities. I went on a walk through the old town of Sarajevo that is packed with notable landmarks such as the Gazi Husrev Beg Mosque, the Latin Bridge, and the City Hall. The Bazarjija, the famous old bazaar, is the beating heart of the city. And I love the tantalizing smells, steaming barbecues of cevapi, the grilled minced meat one can find all throughout the Balkans, the multitude of baked snacks such as burek, and the overall bustling atmosphere of the place. In the evening, Sarajevo really becomes alive and the party spirits of the city awaken. The streets are filled with people chatting, eating, celebrating and dancing. The numerous shisha bars and shops offering sweet delights compete for attention and the nights don't seem to end. But besides the vibrant, bustling atmosphere, Sarajevo also has a somewhat melancholic feel to it. The stark reminders of the Bosnian War in the 1990s is ever present. Back then, the city, which was known to an international audience as a proud host of the 1984 Winter Olympics, was besieged by Bosnian Serb forces for nearly 4 years. The siege of Sarajevo resulted in extensive destruction, tragic loss of life, and tremendous suffering for the city's residents. All across the city, red marks silently tell the story of murderous shelling from the surrounding mountains, and the city's museums tell important tales of human tragedy and suffering from times that hopefully will never repeat themselves. The next morning, I visited the gruesome and all too real Tunnel of Hope, which was secretly constructed during the siege of Sarajevo to provide a lifeline for the city's residents who were trapped by Serbian forces surrounding the city. The tunnel served as a clandestine passage underneath the Sarajevo airport runway, connecting the besieged city with the Bosnian-held territory outside. The tunnel became a symbol of resilience and solidarity for the people of Sarajevo, who endured years of bombardment, shortages, and hardship during the siege. Today it's a museum, and I was able to go deep inside the claustrophobia-inducing construction below the airfield. Another unforgettable experience was a visit of the Winter Olympic bobsled track in the mountains high above the city. With a total length of approximately 1,300 meters, that's about 4,200 feet, and one of the longest in the world at the time, the 1984 Olympics track featured a challenging course with steep turns, high-speed straights, and a vertical drop of over 100 meters. This was the site where athletes from around the world competed on the track, showcasing their bobsled and luge skills in the thrilling high-speed sliding winter sports. With the onset of the Bosnian War in the early 1990s, the bobsled track suffered extensive damage, with sections of the track destroyed by artillery fire and vandalism. Today, the bobsled track remains a symbol of the city's Olympic heritage, but also a site to celebrate resilience. In recent years, graffiti artists have transformed the cultural and historical landmark into an outdoor art gallery, with colorful murals covering the concrete surfaces. It's a photographer's paradise, and I spent hours wandering in the woods around the track and the surrounding hills. My visit here should mark the end of a tremendous week full of impressions of a country I had previously only read and heard about in the media. Naturally, a week is not enough to cover a complex country such as Bosnia-Herzegovina, and there are many more places I want to visit here. But I cherished every minute among the warm-hearted people of the region who showed me their tremendous hospitality every single day. Their kindness made me feel welcome all throughout my journey. Thanks to them and the tremendous experiences and learning during my time here, this is a week I will never forget.